This is Boxing Ticket Tonight in association with SB Sports and Chaco. We're delighted once again to be joined by the main man of Dublin, Willo Hayden. How are you, Willo?
All right, how's it going, Stephen?
Oh, it's fantastic. I was sort of doing a bit of research before, obviously, our planned interview, and it's hard to believe it's September since we last spoke. Where does time go?
I know, yeah. Lots happened since then.
It definitely has. Like when we last spoke, you were 1-0. You made your debut in Birmingham and could catch you Woodstock, and you're now 3-0 and about to have your fourth pro fight in a couple of weeks' time. So,
Yeah,
you as a pro, how has it? I think you're pretty much signed a year as well. So, how has the first year been for you as a pro?
it's been great. Picked up some experience. It's honestly been fantastic. Better than I thought it would have been.
It's one of them. I guess you were thrown in the situation. Do you stay amateur because of COVID and everything else? But there was so much uncertainty. Whereas now you're 3-0, and you're sort of you're rebuilding your sort of self again because you're really good amateur, and now you're obviously having to make your name again as a professional. Are you sort of glad in some ways you're sort of going under the radar a wee bit? That you can go and have a fight, pick up a win, come home and do your normal thing without getting caught in all the media circus that can be around boxing.
Yeah, I just want to build up them pro foundations because it's a different game, and it is like you're starting over again. It's like starting back from boy one, kind of. It's a whole new experience.
And I guess last time out in March, you had your first fight in TV and your first pro stoppage.
Yeah.
For some ways as a pro, like, was it the sort of monkey on the back sort of, like, I know you get your first couple of fights of the way and you good strong journeyman in there, but it was a sort of case you wanted to see what your power was like as a professional. Do you know you can still stop people?
Yeah, see, the first two fights was in like season journey, man. I think the second fight I fought had like 76 fights or something. He was a good boxer, like, and they're in there to survive. But the last fight I fought, he came out to like beat me. He was 2-2, so he was young enough, fresh enough himself, and he was in there to win it. Like I was talking to him afterwards and all, and he said that's what his game plan was. So because he wasn't covering up, just trying to not get stopped, I was able to see the openings and then land the shots on him that got him out there. So actually, I much prefer that.
Does that help your confidence sort of in a way? Do you know that when you put in all your hard work? Sometimes I know it's one of them tricky situations. Sometimes with boxing is they'll go the 4 rounds and get the more experience because you're only 20 years of age. They get the 4 rounds of experience, or they get the knockouts above the profile quicker and get more fights and keep yourself fresher. It's sort of one of them catch-22 situations. Going, they want the 4 rounds of experience, or they want to show people what I've got.
Yeah, like my first 2 fights were 2 6-rounders. And I'm happy they went the distance. I'm happy I got good, tough journeyman because I'm learning. Like, if I'm getting in stopping people in the first round, there's no experience being gained for it.
Mm.
But got plenty of experience in my first 2 fights. Got 12 good rounds in the bank. Learned so much from the camps, and then learned so much from the fights.
And obviously boxing and BT Sport for the first time as well. Did it seem anything different to you? You're probably getting a bit more attention, a few more people sending you comments of good luck and congratulations. How sort of, does it change anything for you in the build up to the fight? That so many people's watching your fight? Or was it just a case of just remembering what you normally do?
Yeah, I did think it kind of would, but when I was in the change room and all, like, hitting the pads and stuff, I wasn't thinking of TV. I was thinking about, like, I was confident. I've done all the hard work in my camp. Had a 8-week camp. Just, it's a spar. I have to just go in there and do the business. Like, it makes no difference if there's a camera on me or if there's a big crowd. Like, I just have to get in there and do what I have to do.
You've built up plenty of experience. I was an amateur as well. I think the last time we spoke, you had about 300 fights, club shows and everything else. So I guess you're used to it, different scenarios, but there's hardly anybody there. You've had TV cameras in your face for your fights before, even though some of them have been shown later. So I guess it's like, when you're fighting someone, your eyes have to be focused on them. So no matter what else is going around you, it doesn't matter for that moment in time,
It
because
doesn't there. Like when you're getting in the ring, you have one job to do. Like you can't be thinking of what's going on outside the ring, or like you can't be thinking of the crowd who's watching or it being on telly. Like you just have to win. Like it's a spar. You know what I mean? Just focus on performance. And when you focus on performance, then the wins come with that.
and outside of boxing, obviously, how have you found obviously adjusting? Are you able to go about your daily life sort of without getting tortured too much as people coming up to you in the street and noticing who you are? Now, I guess you're well known, obviously an 11-time amateur champion as well. But is it sort of a case now of people more recognizing you, going, I seen you on TV? Are you finding sort of any more spotlight coming on to you?
Yeah, I am. I'm getting a lot of it now, but it's no one harassing you or nothing like that. It's all people showing support. So that means a lot. It does. Like I do really appreciate the support.
And I was down in Black Forge not so long ago with Andy. Obviously, believe it or not, he actually bought me a burger.
Did he?
Yeah, it's a surprise. Like I'm still in shock since.
The chicken burger, was it?
It was actually a beef burger and a black bun. It was
Yeah,
actually
I
really
know
good.
the one. I know the one.
But obviously, even when I was in there speaking to people, obviously in the Black Forge, people are obviously speaking about you. I know it's Connor's pub, but people are speaking
Yeah.
about you because you're seen as their next big inspiration for years to come, obviously in the sport. Which is obviously, I guess, good when you can go about and you're sort of hearing good things being said about yourself. And obviously, you're only starting out. You're a baby in the sport at 20 years of age, so you have a long time to go.
Yeah.
You're obviously back out again in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks tomorrow. You're back out in Telford. What's the sort of plan? Sort of, is it, I guess it just stick to what you're used to. Is it, if I get another stoppage, I get another stoppage. What's the plan? Sort of now you've had your first knockout win. Does it have a taste in your mouth that you want more? Or I guess it's just, is it the development sort of you're looking for more than anything?
I'm just looking for a good performance. I've sparred loads of different fighters, loads of different styles. I have so much experience. I'm just gonna go out like whatever the opponent brings. I'm just gonna find a way to beat him. If a stoppage comes with that, it does. But I'm not looking for any stoppage or anything. Like if it's there, to only smell blood, I'll go for it. But I'm just looking to get the win, pick up experience, and put on a good entertaining fight.
Definitely, that's all it means at this stage in boxing. Obviously, speaking of another obviously great we have, obviously with Katie Taylor, just continues to keep impressing this year, sort of does. I think it's probably going to take someone really, really special to obviously they surpass obviously what Katie's done, not just in amateur boxing, but even as a pro. Obviously beating Amanda Serrano, like what a fight.
Yeah, like there's gonna be good girls now coming up and all, but I don't think anyone can ever beat what Katie's done. She's paved the way. You know what I mean? She was the first one to really put like girls boxing on the map. So I don't think there's any way you can really top her.
And when we last spoke, obviously we were talking about obviously you fighting the card in Ireland. There's obviously now the potential of Croke Park, September, October time. I'm guessing you're sort of going to be putting both hands up, volunteering yourself to put on the card.
Yeah, like if the opportunity comes up, I'd love to, but that's not a decision for me to make. But if it comes to me, I'd definitely be interested, 100%.
I think every probably people will be fighting in the car park in the street just to get onto the card. The
Oh, big
box office.
time, yeah.
They'll be like, you're fighting Jay Quigley and such is fighting somebody else. Everybody just be looking to get on the card some way. So, every man and his dog will want to fight in Croke Park.
Yeah.
So they will. But obviously, for fight now coming up, since you made your debut in August, are you sort of happy with sort of how it's developed, or would you sort of like a few more fights? As I guess it's just a case of have a fight, a few weeks rest, back in the camp. Is it sort of just a continuous cycle for you?
Yeah, that's the way it feels now at the moment. But there's definitely improvements being made. I'm developing into a man now as well. But Frank's done all this before. He's raised prospects into champions so many times. So I'm just gonna trust the process. They pick the fights. I just do my camp and then do the business on the night.
Definitely, as a boxer, you're paid to fight, and the thinking's done to the
Yeah.
promoter. If you sort of looking at the rest of 2022 as sort of development before you probably maybe start looking towards potential title fights, or is it sort of too soon yet for you to start thinking along them lines?
Yeah, well, I think that's what Frank's aim is with me anyway. That's what he seems to be doing with the rest of the prospects coming through. Like, but I think a youth world title or something, maybe next year, a year after, will definitely be on the cards.
There's definitely plenty of obviously young Irish boxers coming up at the moment. You've obviously Pierce O'Leary, it's obviously from Dublin as well. You've the McKenna brothers. You know, it just seems to be that, I don't know, it's everybody's sort of switching from the amateur grade now into professionals and starting it off in an early path. So it seems like everybody's trying to progress at the same sort of level. So, you know, in a few years down the line, probably some old amateur photos are going to come up of you all together. And obviously now as world champions are now making your grade. So I guess probably more eyes are sort of looking on the young guns now in professional boxing. Do you see what you can achieve for the next grade of amateur boxers coming across?
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely is. But look, well, obviously, thank you very much for catching up with this game. Obviously, your fight's in 3 weeks' time, 11th of June in Telford on BT Sport. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's 4-0. And I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
100%. Well, cheers. Take care. Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.